There's a moment when a Sigma female stops warning people and starts revealing who she really is. When she goes full villain mode, she becomes the most unpredictable woman anyone will ever face. Not because she's evil, but because she finally stops holding back. Here's what happens when you push a Sigma female too far. Part 1. The trigger. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not one catastrophic event. It's not a sudden snap. It's the accumulation, the slow erosion, the 1,000 cuts that finally draw blood. Picture this: she confided in you. Told you things she never tells anyone. Her vulnerabilities, her fears, her secrets. And you weaponized them, used them against her, shared them with others, twisted them into jokes, held them over her head. She said nothing, just filed it away. Made a mental note: this person is dangerous, but she gave you a chance. Another one, and another. Until the day she realized, this isn't a mistake. This is a pattern. That's when something shifts. The trust doesn't just break, it incinerates. And here's the thing about trust with a Sigma female: she doesn't give it easily. When she does, it means something. It means she chose you. Selected you from the masses. Losing that? You didn't just break her trust. You lost access to a version of her most people never see. The version that's vulnerable, open, and real. That version is now locked away, forever, and you'll never get the key back. It could be you tried to manipulate her, or maybe you tried to control her, tried to gaslit her, or made her question her reality, twisted situations to make her look crazy when she was the only one seeing clearly. You played mind games, emotional chess, strategic guilt trips, and for a while she played along, doubted herself, apologized when she wasn't wrong, questioned her own perceptions. She's been watching, analyzing, and taking notes of every contradiction, every lie, every manipulation tactic. She has receipts, a complete archive of your behavior patterns. She sees the pattern you thought you were hiding. She knows exactly what you're doing. She's just been waiting to see how far you'd take it, testing your limits, documenting the evidence, building her case, and now she knows. And the verdict is in: guilty, beyond reasonable doubt. Case closed. Being underestimated, this one's subtle. They looked at her quietness and mistook it for weakness, her patience for pushover, her kindness for stupidity, her self-control for inability. They talked over her in meetings, took credit for her ideas, dismissed her boundaries, treated her availability like it was their right. They assumed her silence meant she had nothing to say. Wrong. Her silence meant she was observing, calculating, and waiting for the perfect moment. She stayed calm, observant, and silent. Because the Sigma female doesn't need to announce her power. She doesn't need to convince you she's intelligent, capable, and dangerous. She just needs you to forget she has it. Let you get comfortable, overconfident, careless. Let you think you've got her figured out. And when you finally remember, when you finally realize you were playing checkers while she was playing chess, it's already too late. The game is over. And she's already won. Part 2. The switch. There's a specific moment when it happens. Not anger, not sadness, not even disappointment, just nothing. The emotional detachment. Watch her face when it clicks. Her expression doesn't change. She doesn't cry, doesn't yell, doesn't make a scene, but something behind her eyes goes dark, like a light switching off in a room you didn't know was lit. The emotional investment? Gone. The hope that you'd change? Extinct. The care about what you think? Evaporated. She's not numb. She's not suppressing emotions. She's genuinely, completely indifferent. This is the moment people fear most, when they realize they've been downgraded, from close friend to acquaintance, from partner to stranger, from priority to irrelevant. And indifference, that's colder than hate, because hate still cares, hate still feels. Hate means you still matter, even negatively. Indifference is the void. Indifference means you've ceased to exist in her emotional landscape. You're not the villain in her story anymore. You're not even a character. You've been deleted from the narrative entirely. You've been reclassified. From person to obstacle, from connection to problem to solve. And she solves problems efficiently. The cold silence. This is where people start to panic, because they're used to her warmth, her explanations, her efforts to make things work. Now, silence. You text her, no response. You call and you get her voicemail every time. You try to explain, apologize, fix it, and it's nothing. The silence isn't punishment. It's not a tactic. It's not a game to make you chase her. It's just the natural state. When she stops performing emotional labor, she's not ignoring you to hurt you. She's ignoring you because engaging would cost her peace. And her peace is no longer negotiable. The most terrifying part? She's not angry while doing this. She's calm, eerily calm. The kind of calm that comes before absolute devastation. She's not planning revenge. Revenge requires caring about the outcome. She's simply moving on. Without you. As if you were never there. And somehow, that's so much worse than any revenge could ever be. Part 3. The transformation. Now watch what emerges from the ashes. This isn't the woman you knew. This isn't the woman you thought you could predict. This is something else entirely. Hyper-focus. All that energy she was wasting on dead-end relationships, on managing your emotions, on trying to fix what was broken, redirected, completely, ruthlessly, strategically. She becomes laser-focused on her goals, her growth, her empire, the promotion she was too nice to fight for, acquired, the business she was too busy to start, launched, the life she put on hold for everyone else, activated. Watch what happens when a woman who is giving 80% of her energy to others suddenly reclaims that 80% for herself. She doesn't just move forward. She accelerates. Projects that would take years, completed in months. Goals that seemed distant, achieved. Dreams deferred, manifested. She's not just moving forward. She's dominating. And you're not even in the rearview mirror anymore. You're off the map entirely. She's operating at a level you never saw because she was too busy operating at your level to accommodate you. Her energy shifts. Where there was softness, there's now steel. Where there was accommodation, there's now immovable boundaries. Where there was explanation, there's now silence. She walks into a room differently now. No longer shrinking. No longer making herself small to make others comfortable. She takes up space, unapologetically. Her posture changes. Her eye contact intensifies. Her words, when she chooses to speak, carry weight. People feel the shift, that power. It's not aggressive. It's not loud. It's not performed. It's just there. Undeniable. Unmistakable. She's become the version of herself that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't apologize for existing, doesn't shrink to fit into spaces not designed for her. And that version is terrifying to people who benefited from her compliance, because they're realizing she was never weak. She was being kind. And now the kindness has run out. Zero tolerance. Here's where the villain part really kicks in. She's done with chances. Done with explanations. Done with warnings. You get one boundary violation. One. Not 3 strikes. Not a conversation about it. Not a chance to explain. One. And you're out. No argument. No negotiation. No dramatic confrontation. Just removal. Clean. Surgical. Permanent. Someone disrespects her? Deleted. Someone tries to guilt her? Blocked. Someone expects her to carry their weight? Gone. She's not being cruel. She's being efficient. Why waste energy on people who've proven they don't deserve it? The old her would have given speeches, explained why the behavior was unacceptable, offered chances to change. This version? She just removes you from her life like deleting a file. No ceremony, no closure, no final conversation. You're just gone from her world. And the efficiency of it is what shocks people most. How easily she can cut you off, how little it seems to affect her. The old her would have felt guilty about this. This version feels nothing but relief. Sweet, simple relief. Part 4. The consequences. Now comes the beautiful part. The part where the universe reorganizes itself around her new frequency. The narcissists in her life spiral. Because their favorite supply just cut them off. No warning. No explanation. No way back in. They try the usual tactics. Love bombing. I miss you so much. Guilt tripping. After everything I've done for you playing victim, you've really hurt me. You're overreacting. She responds to none of it, and without her reaction, their game falls apart. They're forced to find new victims. But everyone can see them now, because when the Sigma female stops absorbing their toxicity, it splashes everywhere else, and suddenly, everyone sees what she saw all along. The people who manipulated her, they realize they lost their greatest asset. She was the one who covered for them, made excuses for their behavior, believed their lies, gave endless chances. Now she's gone. And everything they built on her support? Collapsing. The coworker who took credit for her ideas? Exposed when they can't produce quality work alone. The friend who used her as free therapy? Spiraling because they never learned to handle their own emotions. The partner who depended on her emotional labor? Lost without someone to do the work of maintaining the relationship. She doesn't expose them. Doesn't need to. Their incompetence exposes itself when she's not there to compensate for it. Fake friends disappear. Here's the filter that's most revealing. She stops initiating, stops reaching out, stops organizing, stops being the glue, and watches who stays. The number is devastating and clarifying. 90% of her friends were just people who found her useful. The 10% who remain, the ones who notice her absence and actually reach out, those are the real ones. And suddenly, her circle isn't smaller. It's purer. Quality over quantity isn't a saying anymore. It's her lived reality. Part 5. The rebirth. Here's what they'll never understand. This isn't a villain origin story. This is a resurrection, not evil, but empowerment. She didn't become evil. She became selective. She didn't become cold. She became protected. She didn't become a villain. She became unavailable to people who treated her like a resource. There's a difference between being cruel and refusing to be used. There's a difference between being heartless and protecting your heart. There's a difference between being a villain and simply being done. She chose herself. Finally, completely, unapologetically. And if that makes her a villain in your story, it's because you needed her to be the martyr in yours. What emerges from villain mode isn't a worse version of her. It's the truest version. The version that doesn't dim her light to make others comfortable. The version that doesn't apologize for having standards. The version that doesn't explain herself to people who never tried to understand. The version that prioritizes her peace over anyone's perception. The version that knows her worth and refuses to negotiate it. This is who she was always meant to be. She was just too busy taking care of everyone else to become it. Too busy being what others needed instead of who she was. Villain mode didn't corrupt her. It freed her. Freed her from the prison of other people's expectations, from the cage of being nice, from the trap of being accessible. And freedom? Freedom looks like villainy to people who benefited from her captivity. Now she operates on a different frequency, where effort is mutual or non-existent, where respect is baseline, not negotiable, where peace is protected like a sacred thing, where access is earned, not assumed. Most people can't tune into this frequency. They're still broadcasting on manipulation, guilt, and exploitation. She's moved to a station they don't have access to, and she's never switching back. So let them call her villain. Let them say she changed. Let them write their narratives about the woman who went cold. She's not listening. She's too busy building the life she deserves, with people who deserve her, in the peace she finally claimed. The Sigma female in villain mode isn't a warning, she's a promise. Push her too far and you don't get her anger, you get her absence. And absence, as it turns out, is the most devastating thing she could give you, because you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what you lost. And she'll spend the rest of hers not thinking about you at all. She didn't become the villain, she just stopped being yours.